fuck.
So yeah, because of daylight saving time, this came out later than I thought. So whoops, that's fine. So they made me watch the stupid, shitty fucking broadcast again. God, I hate those stupid people.
Yeah, that happened to me too, which I thought was because I had literally just hit A on the final broadcast right as the thing changed, so I felt like, oh, you're still in the broadcast, this makes you watch it again.
I think it's because they need to open Salmon Run.
That might be it, actually.
They need an excuse to reload the map, which is stupid.
So
Welcome back to Off the Fuck. I don't give a shit. Like, that's such a bad name, too. Someone's making a Puyo Tetris mod with J and L, but with the Squid Sisters, and I'm like, good thing it's not Off the Hook.
There'll be a version of that soon, though.
Oh, I'm sure. And by that, I mean, I'm sure that it won't happen.
No, it'll happen.
Nice grenade, second person.
That was probably me.
Fucking idiot. Wait, hey, can we not do this? Oh my goodness. Fine.
I just again want to point out that whole positivity drive from 2 weeks ago, as you called me a fucking idiot.
2 weeks ago?
Not 2 weeks, whatever, however long it was.
Oh my god, one grenade only takes out one pan. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It doesn't make
These
any
things need to be shot.
fucking sense.
Nope, but they need to be shot.
Like, the blaster, which is a smaller explosive, like, knocks out 3 pans.
Bigger impact, I guess.
It's a grenade.
Yeah, but say a wider, weaker impact, whereas like a blaster is a focused shot.
I have to remember that you can just run into enemies with this thing.
What thing?
The fucking umbrella piece of garbage.
Yep. Jesus.
I don't have my notepad document up. Without it, there's nothing to talk about. Absolutely nothing.
I have a story, so.
No.
I went to get a haircut today, because I have a job interview tomorrow. And I got, this beard shaved off and all while I was there. And it's the same shop I always go to, same barber shop. But they have like a new guy there. And he is the most thorough motherfucker I've ever seen in a barber shop. Like, not saying that's a bad thing, it was quite nice, but he's like insanely thorough. Like, he did not want to miss even like a tiny speck of hair that he was told to cut. Like, at points he would just change like a regular blade razor, and he would just as if he's like chipping at a fucking statue he was chiseling or something, just start tapping at like just little bits of hair just to get rid of them. It's fucking like a weird feeling. I am being targeted by both.
You okay?
No. Yeah, it was so that was like, it took ages, because like, yeah, even every time I thought he was done, he would then just like suddenly go back to a spot he just did and just like pick tiny bits of it with whatever razor he had or whatever. It was the most weirdly thorough thing I've ever seen. But fucking worked. I'll give him that much. Like, he's also really insanely thorough about like using the blow dryer and shit to get rid of all the errant loose hairs that usually stay on and itch the shit out of me. I didn't even have to like spend ages washing them all off to make sure I wasn't just scratching myself all day.
You just take a shower afterwards.
We don't have a shower.
You just take a bath with a bucket afterwards.
We use the shower head thing we have on the bath. And to wash our hair, but just hold it over our heads. But
as far as I'm concerned, that's a shower.
I mean, I'm bent over the bath to standing unit, so yeah. So no, that was a curious experience. He was so weirdly thorough. I was kind of like, huh. Cause I didn't expect it, especially because like pretty early, just early into the haircut, he began like saying, he used to be on talking about how like like the assassinate. So what are you getting for? I said job interview. He's like, right, like being unemployed, it does your head and all. And he's kind of like, all I do when I'm unemployed is just like smoke weed every day. And
Wow.
I was kind of like, okay, so I was like, fair enough. And then he's like this fucking artisan haircutter, and it's just kind of like, Jesus. It's like, it just seemed against like the sort of lazy like self. He was the way he spoke about everything. He was just kind of like, I'm a lazy person. And then he's just this perfectionist to parents. It's kind of, huh. These things do not gel, but okay. Yeah.
Not really much to follow up on. Like the only thing at a haircut that I think is something to really talk, or how do I word this? This is like a discussion point that I usually come up with is like, are barbers artists? And people are like, no, and I'm like, I think that there's an argument there, people. Wow, this is great.
We're fine.
But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things you don't have, I deposited my first check into the ATM today, and I didn't think it was gonna work, and it did. I'm
Got
like,
the right amount and everything.
yeah, I'm like, how does it do it?
Oh.
In fact, there was even an option to like, like change the check amount or something.
Huh.
I mean, I imagine obviously there are rules or something, like it's just a
It probably doesn't go in right away, and then like they double check it. But
yeah, I'm like, first off, on the little screen on the ATM, it showed the check upside down as it was scanning it. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna spit it back out. I'm gonna have to put it back in the other way. Nope, still read the right amount, which is
wow.
weird. Because normally when it's like I put a $10 bill in, and for some reason it always reads it as a check, even though it's a $10 bill. So it's like, okay, but now it read the check properly. That was so weird. I mean, it was just weird that I could deposit at that bank again. Truly.
Maybe this is what the delay was for, is for like this working check scanner.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if like the deposit,
the future.
the little like deposit slot was broken, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because it did take a while to open, so I'm like, maybe that was it. But yeah, now I have more money in my bank account because I was running out. Woo!
Yay! I too am running out, but I don't have more money to put into. I'm fine. I have that final stage job interview tomorrow, so maybe that will alleviate itself in time. And if not, I don't know what I'm going to do.
When even is that? Oh, you should have turned around.
The interview tomorrow is at 1:30. And apparently they have an hour booked. I don't know if it'll go for the whole hour or not. In my experience, these things don't necessarily always. The bit I hate is always going to be like, do you have any questions? The answers. So instead of like, well, what is you actually fucking do here technology-wise? I never have anything to say. Or well, beyond like, well, am I getting paid if I get in? But
well, you have to think something up. You gotta.
I mean, like, it's just I don't have a lot of this. It's like, okay, just tell me what the technology is, tell me what the project is, point me at it, and I'll just fucking do it.
What?
Like, you just need like a code monkey. I'll just be the code monkey. That's all I want.
What's your favorite color? Oh, I almost tried to jump with this thing. Bad plan.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they'll tell me tomorrow or if they'll like wait until it's done, interviews with everyone or whatever.
Wait 2 weeks.
No, because like they've been pretty quick. Cause like this final stage interview is happening the very same week as the first stage of interview. So like the implication and from what they've told me is like they really need someone fast, and judging by the fact that they're taking a filthy 2-2 grade degree, I'm guessing they can't be picky.
What are you talking about?
My degree grade is a like 2-2, and then they all like damn near every employer wants a 2-1 or get fucked.
What does that mean?
2-1 minimum. The grading system for like degrees here is like first, like 2-1, 2-2, third, and then there's no one below that. 'Cause, well, fuck you. So, you know, like 2-1 is like generally accepted as like the standard. This is what you should be if you're a good and competent person, and I'm the one below that. So most job things I see are like 2-1 or get fucked. And it's like, well, fuck me, I guess.
Try to study harder or something.
I have things to say about that response, but it's not. It's not.
You know, the classic do as I say, not as I do. Hey, can I get rid of these boxes? I didn't even know they exploded on their own.
Yeah, when they run out of
balance.
things to spawn.
Oh shit. A little late on that one, but
He did it at least. Nope, fuck me. It's fine.
nothing else to ink around here.
Fucking bamboozler.
Well, speaking of programming, I was looking at a video game earlier called Overwatch, which involves programming, I'm sure, so the segue works. And I don't know, Bridget doesn't look that fun, so whoops.
So in other words, we're never playing it again, alright?
Yep, that sounds about right, until they add Bridget 2.
Nah, because then you go like, oh, this person's cute, and then you'll tell me, nah, they're not that fun, and we'll never play it again.
I mean, she doesn't look that fun. I don't know if she actually isn't. They've probably made changes since that stream, too, so I don't know. She just looks kind of like weak and doesn't really have a role, and her flail looks stupid.
Oh.
It literally looks stupid. It looks like the meat from TF2, and I really can't stand
Here's
that.
the thing, right? You say everything looks stupid, so that really doesn't mean anything anymore when you say it.
Did I say everything looks stupid?
Your like first response to anything you don't like is that looks dumb or that looks stupid, and it's kind of like, if that's like literally everything, like at what point does that mean anything anymore?
See, I think you're exaggerating,
I'm not.
leaving me with nothing to respond to.
You should really like listen to yourself sometimes.
I think someone was killing that thing.
I have the bamboozler. I can only try so hard.
I'm like, is that it being hit, or is it just that being like
me
destroyed?
Blinking away at it as best I can. Well, like when you say stupid, what do you mean?
Like, one, it kind of. I mean, have you seen it?
No.
I don't really know how to describe it other than the meat item from TF2. But then
I
also
don't know
like
what that is either.
when it not like cartoon. Because when you think of cartoon meat, you think of the cylinder with the bone going through it.
Yeah.
That's like kind of like that, where it's like a bone, but then it like kind of flattens out at the top. That kind of cartoon meat.
Right.
It looks like that. I mean, it's shaped like that. But also, like, when it slings out, it's like mid-range. It doesn't really look like it's hitting where it actually is. And it looks like it's... I mean, the animation looked kind of janky, too. And it's like, her healing is really subpar. Her shield is subpar. Her hyper takes a while to activate, which is weird.
So basically, you have to wait for her to be buffed at some point.
Yeah.
It's basically like standard Blizzard at this point. They shit on my guy and then have to buff it up.
But she like kind of doesn't look like...
who are like stuck playing the characters they've been playing for like since beginning in competitive complain that there's a new thing they have to learn and just call it unbalanced instead of like actually playing the game. So then again, nerfing it again.
Like, it's weird because I should have expected this, but she just kind of looks like she doesn't really have anything to call her own as far as a mechanic. So it just kind of leaves me with a lackluster feeling. Also, you just know that everyone's gonna wear the skins that don't have her hair out, which is like heinous. It's like, what's the point?
I mean,
Other people,
yeah,
other people are gonna make her not cute. It's just like, well, damn, what does she have left? They're gonna put her in a fucking suit of armor thing. Pieces of shit. Oh, it's going for me now? Okay. Oh, there are two of them, huh? Cool. Where'd the... Oh, it's over there. Where did the car go? Haha, cargo. You know what I forgot about?
what did you forget about?
We've been watching the Yokai Watch anime, right?
Yeah,
And in one episode they say soccer. Or at least,
Yep.
you know, the English version of soccer.
yep.
Which is like soccer, you know?
Which is not, it's not technically English because that is their word for football.
But I thought everywhere else called it football. Is that not true in Japan?
Well, I mean, like a lot of Japanese like words borrowed from English are taken from America after the like, you know, American, what's the word?
World War II.
American occupation of Japan for so long, and the massive cultural impact that had on them in many ways, quite negatively. Such as, for instance, telling them the word soccer instead of its actual term.
That's weird. So is it everywhere except America and Japan now? And now,
Yeah,
as in-
because everywhere else usually was, you know, occupied by the British Empire. So they use the UK English phrase for it, which is football.
is it like Japan? Like,
Japan gets it from America because, you know, America occupied Japan.
is it like a split thing? Like some people say football, some people say soccer, or is it like
No, like the
everyone says
Japanese
soccer?
word for football is saka. Like that is the word for it. It's based on the English word soccer, which Americans would use.
Wow, that's
to
news.
describe
That's news to me.
So there you go.
See, America should do that more often.
Occupy other countries and twist their usage of the language.
Yes. Skinner voice. Yes. Oh, whatever. Move. Yeah, as far as other video game things go. Ooh, sorry.
Cool.
Because Monster Hunter has been retired. Completely, obviously.
Okay.
Except not really. But, because it's not being played essentially every single day,
Yeah.
I think that we can talk about it on Salmon.
Okay. Yeah.
The veil has been lifted. So, there's gonna be a new update out for that. And because we play it so often, I think that's fair just to talk about. Essentially, they're just adding a new monster, which should have been added in last week. Stupid bitches. And, it wasn't. And then they're making a balance patch, which is like, there's some things I want to address there.
There we go.
Okay,
I don't know what the patch is. So.
first things first. The game has really tiny text, and those stupid dickholes at Capcom put, added an option to increase the size of text. There are lots of eggs being stolen over here, by the way.
But yeah, there's lots of enemies in here preventing easy and quick exit.
But yeah, so they said like that, and then followed by 4 subtitles. So presumably you can only change the font size for subtitles and not in the actual game. And I'm like, fuck you. You suck.
That option for a bigger TV is always on the table.
That option for a smaller bed's always on the table, bitch.
I mean, true, but no.
Another bad thing about that patch is the edit character voucher. Oh, it just makes me mad. Because...
Would you like to explain?
Okay, essentially, when you make a character, you're stuck with that character. Like, you can change, like, shit on their face and stuff. But, like, not their actual, like, face proportions or something, I think. You could change, I think, their hair color, too. Like, minor things like that.
Her and eye color, yeah.
And that's it. And I just assume that because the game's like online or whatever, being able to change your character's, model or whatever would create problems for the game. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, I guess that's that. It would be nice, but whatever. So they come out saying that now there's the option to actually do that. You can change like the gender, the face bones. You can essentially just reopen the character creator entirely for your character and save it. So it's like, okay, that functionality is in the game, cool. But there's this edit character voucher. Now everyone gets one free with this update, but if you want to get any more, you're gonna have to purchase them. If you want to change your character, you have to buy a voucher.
Here, the important distinction. When you say buy, what do you mean?
Buy with money.
Which money?
On the PlayStation Store, if I read correctly.
Okay, so... Fuck Capcom, then.
I'm like, what? I mean, they charge like $3 for a taunt, so like...
I mean, that's just like bad DLC person. This is just overt, like, hideous bullshit.
Yeah, like taking an option
like,
out of the game.
Monster Hunter is... Not even Monster Hunter is free despite what the devs try.
It's like, and it should have been...
We have a disconnect, though.
Oh. It should have been in the game in the first place, if it was possible, which it is. So... Oh my goodness. But like, not everything with this patch is bad. There are good things. Those are like the only 2 like bad things, though.
One of them is pretty fucking hideous.
Well, yeah, I mean, the text thing isn't necessarily bad. It's just I hate how they baited me like that. Stupid dicks. Because, I mean, obviously text and subtitles is different than text throughout the game.
The other one is like the beginning of encroaching like microtransactions in the game, which is fucking hideous. Doubly so when you do it after launch.
It's like, it's such a minor feature too, like changing your character.
Yeah.
If it was like, like, I don't know, if the game had like a thing where you change your build or something, that could make sense, or like start new.
Nah, even that shouldn't be something you get to pay money for. That's just
but it would be at least somewhat better than character cost.
I wouldn't say so. But I would say it would be just as bad, if not slightly worse.
I don't even know what I was describing, but imagine something better than just being able to make your character's nose bigger. But
yeah, well, go ahead.
Yeah, a good thing that they did was essentially in Monster Hunter, you carve, like you have to go to a monster and then carve it after you defeat it to get its materials. And that takes time. Your character pulls out a knife and then sticks it wherever in the monster. They really didn't care about the animation, but that's not the point. And that's how you get a material, only after you finish the animation. So what people would do online is they would hit like your character to make it so that they couldn't finish the carving animation, so you couldn't get the materials.
I mean, not even just people. Like, sometimes other monsters will just dander in and start smacking you.
Well, with other monsters, that's still in the game, and I guess that makes sense because it's like, well, they're monsters. But, like, people would just do it to grief, essentially. So, Capcom actually made it so that, other allies hits don't actually stop you from carving, which is great.
It's great.
Do they actually care about that?
I feel like that should have been something they caught in the beginning, but hey.
I mean, I feel like that should have been something that was in all the other games before this one, right?
I mean, I don't know, probably. It could have just been like an oversight and they're just going like, ah, shit. I don't know, but like I feel like that's something that should have been caught to begin with.
I think what happened is like they thought it was fine, and then they now realize now that the game's out for millions of people. Apparently, 6 million. You know, a large chunk of those people are actually griefing, and a lot of the victims are very upset, so they're doing something about it. So that's nice, because what you would have to do is you would have to equip an item, or a skill, essentially, that's called flinch free, that made it so that you didn't flinch when people hit you if you were playing online with random people, because you couldn't trust them, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to do that. So that's a good thing. I mean, you know, adding a new monster, that's good, I guess.
Yep.
And the spring
I have to
festival.
say, its armor set looks pretty rad.
I wasn't really paying attention entirely. I'll see when it gets in the game.
Looks like some fucking like mad crocodile now. It looks great.
And the spring festival, which is like, okay, whatever, probably just give you a bunch of bounties and shit. Yeah. Whatever.
Which, you know,
Seems cosmetic for the hub area mostly.
I mean, that's nice. Like, little in-game seasonal events are nice.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's not like huge. There's something else, I think. But I can't peep
The
it.
Devil May Cry collaboration.
Oh yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah,
Because I haven't played it.
You're unwashed. So.
They probably are gonna make it so you have to buy the game.
I mean,
Just like Street Fighter.
probably. Because thinking about, I think the DMC HD collection's out this week. But that's fine because really you should be buying and playing Devil May Cry.
I mean, what was that game originally on?
PlayStation 2.
What if you have it for the PlayStation 2 and you don't want to buy it again for your PlayStation 4?
Don't buy it?
Then you probably don't get the thing if it's the
Oh
same.
well.
I mean, I'm just saying, if that's how it's done, that's dumb.
I'm just saying you should play Devil May Cry.
I mean, that's even less on the list
I want
than...
lots of people to play Devil May Cry, so they'll fucking make an actual proper Devil May Cry game.
Like, that's even lower on the list than Metal Gear Solid, because at least I know what Metal Gear Solid is.
I mean, Devil May Cry is like literally the progenitor of Bayonetta in its ilk.
Uh-huh.
Like, it is the root of all of that. Like, of all the, like, fucking the root of Nier Automata, essentially. All that, like, essentially goes back to Devil May Cry.
I mean...
It was Hideki Kamiya's second major game as director. And, you know, it kicked off, like, the entire action game philosophy that would later go on to, like, be the basis for Clover and Platinum, among many others. Devil May Cry was also the direct inspiration for other 3D brawlers. Like, it was explicitly an inspiration for God of War, among others.
But, like, you know, whatever. I'm not even gonna walk into this minefield, even though I easily could. Instead, I'm gonna say that all I know is that it's like from Dante's Inferno.
Not at all, no.
Dante and Virgil are like...
I mean, the
Wow, what
names
a
are, like,
coincidence.
are references to that, but the actual games have no basis in any of that.
Okay, that's a weird thing to obviously reference to me. I didn't like that book. Did not like that book at all, by the way. Dante's Inferno. The concept was cool, but then it was just this dude's self-insert fan fiction that somehow became famous. It's kind of disgusting.
By the standards of its time, it was pretty good as a tale. It also had like a very iconic and influential depiction of hell. That was actually rather inspired.
Yeah, like everything except the main character is alright.
It was also a gigantic satire and piss take of celebrities and important people of the time, which gave it a lot of cultural relevance in the time, which is why it was famous and ended up preserved.
The only good satire is the Irish dude talking about eating babies and making them into shoes.
I mean, that's legally not true because you watch Yokai Watch.
I don't even know what that means.
It is very frequently satirical.
Oh, I guess so. Hey Gavin, do you want to hear a funny joke?
Sure.
Devil may cry, baby.
Where's the funny joke?
That's the funny joke, Gavin!
You didn't say anything funny.
I know. I don't know why people think that's funny. I hate it.
I don't understand why I say it either.
Is the protagonist a crybaby? No, it's just words.
I don't know. I didn't watch Devilman Crybaby. Is it?
No, I said Devil May Cry Baby.
No, yeah, but you're referring to Devilman Crybaby, which is why you're asking if it's Crybaby or not. I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Oh no, that joke. Well, how old is that anime then? I thought that joke was
this year.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say Devil May Cry Baby is a joke that has surpassed time. Mother shit.
I have the thing.
Wow. And having a weapon that you can't really jump with is kind of annoying.
As ever, you can, but
Can't believe the dualies are just like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Oh, do you want to know a topic of hot controversy here?
if once I'm like protected from these gits as I try to shoot this thing. Sure, go ahead.
If Captain Toad is put in Smash, do you think he should be like Little Mac, where he can barely jump?
I don't think you should put the Smash.
Okay, but like, let's say he's put in Smash.
Then he should be taken out. And that's the only thing that should be done. There's no other like topic of, like to talk about here. He should just be taken out.
It's just funny to me how like it's an actual point of controversy because it's like, well, Captain Toad, the whole like point of his game is that they're puzzles where you can't jump. They were put as a side mission in a Mario game as a joke, essentially, right? Like the joke is that you can't jump in a Mario game.
The joke is that Miyamoto has a sexual fetish for these things, and you cannot escape it.
So it's like, should that be honored?
That's the only way I understand like their constant like existence in all things.
Because, you know, people are like, oh, the Animal Crossing villager can't jump. I don't know if they actually can, but like, oh, but they jump in the game, you know, that like characters who don't jump in their games jump in Smash Bros, so Captain Toad should be able to jump. But at the same time, it's like, his whole shtick is not jumping. But at the same time, like, Little Mac's gimmick was weird. I don't think a whole lot of people liked it.
The thing with Lil Mac wasn't so much, oh, he can't jump this game, so he can't jump. His was just they wanted to have a style of fighter who was like ground based, like mighty and armored on the ground, but couldn't do a lot of aerial play.
Yeah, but I don't think many people like that.
I mean, yeah, like even if they don't like it, like that was the drive they were going for. Wasn't a oh, he can't jump in his game, ergo. Which if people are reading it as that, they're fucking stupid.
I mean, he can't. But at the same time, well, actually, he kind of can. Doesn't he do an uppercut or something?
Yeah. But he does have the hop when uppercutting very tall opponents. Which is
all
most
of
of the
them.
opponents in the game.
This thing can't reach anything. Oh jeez, it's hecked. I meant to say hectic, but then I just said heck. I was hoping
that comes into common usage. You can like claim to be the first.
Wait, what?
When people inevitably start saying that, you can claim to be the first.
Oh no, I'm definitely not the first. That's a race fireism.
I don't know what is happening to my right now.
Wow, 33. I guess them spawning a lot of bosses does have its benefits. Wow, 81. Ow. Wow. Oh wow, that was top 3. This is gonna be the last one. Stick is weird.
No fire hop.
I'm with that dude. Fire hopping sucks.
Or what if he's saying it in that he's disappointed?
Well, then there's no, colon open parenthesis at the end of their name, so. Or D colon. Or colon lowercase c. Or colon uppercase c. Or colon open bracket.
My eyes have rolled into the back of my head.
Oh.
Fuck me then, I guess the bandages can't kill them fast enough.
Yeah, Kirby Star Allies has a demo. I always forget about that.
Yeah, it has a demo. I never downloaded it.
The newest thing is, you see the difficulty thing?
No.
It's basically like, you know how not Brawl, is it Smash 4? Had that like difficulty thing where it was like the scale and then it would like descend more into hell and shit.
Yeah.
Kirby has something similar where like the higher you tick up the difficulty, the more like hot sauce Kirby pours into like a food dish. And then like the highest difficulty, he has the evil Kirby face from the anime. He like starts getting the angry eyes and everything. I'm like, that's good.
I love that I was doing a splashdown to get those snipers, and then a snake moved in the way, and just his body 100% fully blocked the splashdown for him.
That's hilarious. So I think like the highest difficulty is like Soul Terror or something that sounds weirdly edgy like that. I know it had the word soul in it. Something about like basically destroying your soul, which is, I mean, not new for Kirby, but it's just funny how that theme is still prevalent.
Soul Terror. So I don't think I'm going to get that games because, you know, Nintendo, for fuck's sake, just put it online play again. Like, for actual fuck's sake, like, there's no point to buy this game for me. Why would it?
I'll probably buy it when the opportunity to play it multiplayer strikes.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I normally don't buy games on the fly. In fact, I never do. But it'll be like when I first played Castle Crashers, and my cousin was just like, "Hey, we need something to play. Oh, this game called Castle Crashers is on the Xbox store. Sure, let's try it." And it was the best.
I to just impulse buy games that I never have.
I mean, I think it'd be kind of hard for me to do that because I like know the game has clout, but like I don't think I'm ever gonna have that experience ever again where it's like, oh wow, I bought this game on a whim and it turned out to be great because I'm gonna already know it's great.
It's kind of the downside of the internet age is you just know every fucking game now.
But I mean, on the bright side, you know what games are bad.
Yeah, that like it's kind of like flip thing. It's like you don't have to like gamble anymore, but at the same time, you just kind of like, yeah, I already know that's good, or I already know that's bad. It's kind of, yeah.
It really would have been useful back in the day where they didn't have it, because a lot of NES games were shit.
Like a lot of games in general.
Were shit, yeah. A lot of those old games, pieces of work, let me tell you.
I remember like someone I watched on YouTube had like the story of like when they were a kid and like they had like a PC to play PC games on at the time, they were getting like an adventure game to play. It's like they had the choice between Monkey Island, which was, you know, it's like one of the
Great.
exemplars of the genre, it's great, or this game called, what was it? I fucking forget its name. It was Future Wars, it was called, which is really bad.
I'm
But the thing
familiar with
is,
that.
all he had to do was, it's a really bad adventure game. All he had to go on was the box arts, and Future Wars in the UK and Europe had actually like a really fucking good box art. So, you know, it looked better than Monkey Island then, so he picked it. And he says he regrets it to this very day.
I mean, point and clicks aren't really my scene.
I mean, this is back when that was one of the dominant genres. So.
Which is weird because like guides didn't exist back then, right? How did anyone beat those fucking games without guides? I don't get it.
You either brute force it or what's the thing? Sierra, like, you know, like they made all the most dangerously terribly hard ones that were like broken, but you just lose forever in them and all that.
I'm familiar with that idea.
They actually printed and did sell their own guides. There was that lots of their games had options where you could find out how to order, like mail order guides and shit. You know, this was back before the internet.
I'm gonna be honest, that's probably why that genre boomed then and barely exists now, because you could just make an extra buck off of the guides. And you can't do that anymore.
I mean, it was also because like Sierra was like it was so heavily into them that it became like a production line for those things. And you know, like PCs at the time couldn't manage much else. It was either like you were either doing a point-and-click adventure game, or you were doing like a PC role-playing game, or like a real-time strategy later on. And that was kind of it, because keyboard and mouse couldn't do like arcade games or like console-style like action games really well.
Like,
It just couldn't be done. Even, you know, it was like, this was back when to make like a gamepad work on the PC, you had to plug it into like the sound card adapter and hope it worked.
oh, good.
And shit like that. You know, it was back before things were easy.
Plug and play. What's that? It's like still the weirdest name for an official computer, you know, mechanic or whatever.
It sounds like some dodgy third party thing, doesn't it?
It's like that doesn't sound official and like complicated at all. How is this a computer term? I mean, then again, they call things like trees and forests. So,
The universal serial bus.
but that like has an actual meaning that isn't like a school bus.
I mean, so did trees and shit. But
Universal serial bus is like the pinnacle of like, haha, I'm 12 by the way. Humor.
hi.
Like when you're 12, you buy a shirt that says Universal Cereal Bus, and then it has a bus that's in space filled with cereal. That's just what it always reminds me of. All right, that was Splatoon 2. What's the time? Yeah, 43 minutes. Because we actually did pretty well this time.
Yep.
Did we even lose one?
We lost at least 2.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Pretty well in basically all of them, so.
Woo! And we're gonna switch games.